one.
Go.
And a go.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
We're here. Don't fear not. We're here.
Hello, Governor.
Hello. Well, welcome back, guys. Time for another review.
Review, breakdown, theorization, discussion, chat, chit, and
Chit.
slam poetry session. Well, chit chat. I just did some, and slam poetry session as well.
Right. So today we're talking about episode 17 of season 3, Sins of the Faja.
No, well, Fajo is later.
Faja.
Okay.
Anywho, it was good coming in here and seeing a bunch of super chats already. That is awesome, guys. Make sure you hit like as well. It's a simple way to help us out, but hit like. And Steve Russell is now a member. He has joined the rank of Commander, so thank you very much, Steve. Welcome to the channel. Just disgraced for 7 generations, otherwise known as Jill, puts in $2. Tony Todd should play Daystrom in Strange New Worlds. That would be perfect. I would love that. They won't do it, but it's perfect. Olivia Julius, $2. Today is a good day for Trekyards. Well, as is most days, I guess. Ozzy throws in 2 super chats of $5 each with the exact same message. So $10 super chat to his good day with the awesome commander and his super Captain Foley skeleton hands. Thank you, Ozzy.
Nice.
And Matthew K throws in amazing $10.
Oh, wow.
And says a tenner for Todd. Or hashtag a tenner for Todd.
Yeah, I mean, Tony Todd, what a great sort of coming onto the screen for Trek. There's been so many Treks, and this is his first appearance, isn't it?
Yeah. And Dan23 puts in £1 with no comment, but thank you very much, Dan.
Bang. Must like this episode. Wahahaha.
Yeah.
I'll just start sharing, I think we're both eager to get into it.
Oh, yes. Eager. The eagerness, can you tell? Guys, I'm super goddamn tired today and don't really want to do this. But I'm here and we will talk about it. Hopefully I will get revitalized as we continue. So yeah, guys, if you want to help us out, you can do so by super chatting. That always lifts our spirits and helps the channel at the same time. Or consider joining the channel, just like Steve did. Steve Russell, you can join the rank of Commander, Captain, or Admiral. That's a great way to support us as well. Or head over to Patreon/Trekyards and help us on a monthly basis over there. Lots of great ways and lots of great stuff in the description of every video for you to check out, including Trekyards merchandise. And you know the routine, guys. So everyone hit like. Let's get the likes up right away. Even if you're here for a minute or 2 minutes, just hit the like button before you leave. Be much appreciated and really help us out. It's Christopher Owens. We're all tired, Stuart. Or Foley. It's nothing new. Yes. Chadich. Jeff Tadich Jacobs. It's good. It's good. Yeah, so let's see what... No, nothing new. Okay, fine. Anyway, Vorta Kevin says, I love you guys. I love you too, Corbin. Or Corta. Did I say... I didn't mean to say Corbin. It's Corta Kevin. That's what it is. So we love you too. Don't worry.
Corbin Dallas, what?
Corbin Dallas, multipass.
Yes.
Olivia Julius throws in $20. Will this wake you up, Captain? I mean, it'll help. I'm very blah today.
I just haven't talked much today. So I'm kind of in a not so talking mood.
What's that?
Oh, I said I haven't really talked much today, just in life, so I'm not really very, can't always be in a talkative mood. But Stuart, what did you think of Season 3, Episode 17, Sins of the Father?
It's good. It's written well, acted well, but it's a little bit too political and talky for me. Um, I don't know. It leads into a whole thing later on that carries on through a bunch of different episodes. So it's good in that way. But it was great to see Tony Todd. He is fantastic as Kurn. Oh my god, Kurn. And yeah, seeing the Klingon High Council and more of the. This is one of the first episodes of TNG where you learn about the Klingons a little bit more. So it was awesome that way. But yeah, I'm not. I like this episode, but I don't know. Taking notes for this was a pain in the ass, and I knew it was going to be. There's a lot of wordiness going on. So we'll see how that goes. But I enjoyed it. There you go.
Okay, good. This one's a funny one because it really is 2 episodes. Really, it's the sequel to the exchange episode, and it tricks you by not being that at all, by being a massive revelation episode, and then, in essence, a 3rd episode. Because normally, oh my god, you're my brother, that'd be a full episode's topic. Then it shifts to a fully Klingon, and not just a Klingon, but a Klingon in the High Council chamber with the Chancellor, like. This
conspiracy episode.
Yeah, and then it ends with a very like, wow, really? So it's a very like it. You could almost be forgiven to think it's 2 episodes because it's so much. And again, you go from having seen the Klingons a couple of times in very minuscule ways to the Chancellor, the High Council chamber, full political civil war. See Cronos, not called Cronos. It's it's a weird escalation that is certainly I think it's probably best first time watching it than second time watching it. Because first time, everything is like, holy shit, that's so cool, especially the first time. Especially at the time, we're seeing more Klingons than ever, and this is before Star Trek 6. This is still, quite long before time for all that. So they're using all the Klingon costumes in existence, plus I'm sure all the stunt versions, all the spare, everything's been utilised for the council room scenes. But having already watched it, I kind of wish that, just like Riker was given a full shout to be the, be a second in command. I kind of want to see more of that episode rather than going straight to Klingon stuff. Yeah. Because while obviously that's all good, the initial premise was good too, and they didn't give it a fair shout, and we never go back to it. That would have been fun. Obviously, we get a lot of follow-ups on this for other Klingon episodes, but it's a very dramatic start. Like I said, it's basically two to three episodes worth of content in one, and it kind of doesn't do them all justice, but it's such an intriguing watch. You sort of like, wow, okay, oh, really, oh, okay, wow, this too, yeah, especially for the time.
Yes. I was going to say something I can't remember. God damn it. Mark Lawrence, $2.
Oh.
Talkie episodes usually build the universe. Oh, absolutely. And a lot of times I don't have an issue with them. Just today, I was just like, oh, I'm burned out on this. But yeah, I agree with you. I would love to see more of the exchange program with the Klingon officer aboard a Federation ship.
Yep.
That was pretty awesome, especially the dinner. I thought that was cool. But I mean, it flows very naturally into the next thing, so it's not like it feels disjointed, really.
Even though it is, but it isn't.
Exactly. As it's going along, it doesn't feel like it, but when you look back at it, you're like, God damn. And yeah, I forgot a lot of this. I forgot this was this episode. I was like, Kurn on the Brit? What? Okay, and then they did the exchange thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to find out he's his brother near the end, and then they're going to meet up again and do that other episode. No, it's this episode. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And definitely in this rewatch, I appreciated less how they used Kaelest. I remember her being more important in the original version, or at least more interesting. In this, she really is like a wet fish of, And I know she in herself is a bluff, and therefore you couldn't use much of her, but I remember her being an interesting character, and she really isn't. Like, what's an interesting character, and then take out all the interesting, and then, which is weird, because she's the linchpin that allows them to end the situation. And having Picard and Cronos is such an obvious opportunity. So, but again, they're trying to pack too much in. That said, when we do get Duras with the Romulans, my memory is that I don't like the episode. I remember it being not a very good two-parter, but also I remember thinking, wow, that was slow and boring for what should be incredibly interesting two-parter. So I guess they take a simple... they uncram for that episode. They cram this one, uncram that one.
Mm-hmm.
Is my memory, anyway.
Yeah. And Tenchi 2K7, $5. I will try your burned replicated bird. Yeah, that's awesome. How long has this bird been dead?
And see,
Looks like it's been in the sun too long.
And see, those scenes, those are interesting. Like, give us more of those. I mean, they all add to the world, but, give us more of those.
Yeah.
Not so much. But yeah, let's get started then. So, we start off with bop, bit of bop. And then, for some reason, this very first clip, I don't know about you, but I thought this very first clip looked blurry and badly graded, as if this is one they couldn't find in HD.
There was a few scenes in this that things were out of focus. Even in Picard's ready room.
Yeah.
One point was out of focus, and I'm like, my glass? Do I need new glasses?
Yeah.
What's going on?
And this is one of those, I think, that they might have had to dip into the auto
Stay in there.
upscale. Yeah. But yes, they've got a Klingon exchange. It's well set up. And it's Mr. Kurn, and he's a memorable face, a memorable whatever. Although I appreciate that, in retrospect, he's got a very similar headpiece to Worf, which was obviously intentional. Because there's such a variety.
Oh, yeah.
He's very similar. But you don't think of that first time, because it's just a Klingon. But I like that little detail. Once you know, you know. So good job them there.
Yeah. And he requested the Enterprise specifically, so...
Don't know that yet.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
It was mentioned in the walk and talk with Riker and Picard.
Because I was distracted by the fact that it
Picard
was
said
dubbed
apparent.
and out of focus.
Picard said, he requested the Enterprise specifically, so we got opportunity to learn more about.
Yeah.
So, and then he comes on and he's like, "Ready for duty. May I take my station, sir?" It's like, whoa. Want to show me? I'll show you your quarters. And no, I'm ready for duty. It's like, all right, snap, let's go.
But also, there's a fine line. He doesn't do it. He's not saying the stuff like a dick. He's just eager to start his first... I'm sure this is like 10 a.m. in the morning. He's thinking, I mean, I could go to my quarters and hang out for a couple of hours, or I could just start my shift and learn on the job. So I appreciate the fine line of he's not very... Like, he's not acting like a full Klingon. He's acting like a more subdued Klingon, because that's in the... he's with these people. So I like the balance there, I think. He's just abrupt.
Mm-hmm. So then he gets on the bridge. And I am Kurn, Commander rank, Klingon Defense Force. I plan to bring a level of discipline you may not be accustomed to.
Which is obviously passively insulting.
Well, yeah. And
You guys are
Picard's like,
undisciplined swine. It's like, oh.
Picard's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I want to know what Data and Wesley were talking about, because... Do you wish to speak, acting Ensign Crusher? It's like, whoa, I mean... Damn, son.
But it shows that he's memorized everyone's names, he's prepared. And they do say later on, the fact your knowledge of systems is impeccable, which... And he even brags, he knows every regulation. I'm thinking, you don't know every regulation. What does 14 subsection 21 BF stand for? Nothing, But he's confident, he's there, he's prepared. You can imagine how many weeks of research that'd be to memorize. Because Klingon procedures, like you go on the ship, and if I look at you a certain way, try and kill me. Regulation 1, great. Regulation 2, if successful, you're captain. There we go. Those are the regulations. And Federation, it's like, here's a binder, here's part 1. Kind of like, oh god, what have I done? What have I done?
Olivia Julius, $2. I love Weasley in this one. Who's Weasley?
I mean, Wesley's really barely even in it. I wouldn't even consider him a character in this week.
Oh, Wesley. Oh, okay.
Yes, the
write
Crusher.
Wesley. She wrote Weasley.
And I know they're trying to subvert expectations, but why bother giving us this Wesley? He doesn't like me. Like, it feels so wasted once you watch it all. It's like, I'd rather have anything else apart from that. I guess they're just giving Wesley a bone, but there's no point in that. Except, I guess, that, he knows who Wesley is, but... You know what I mean? What's the point?
Yeah.
Oh, and then he says... Go off, increase speed of 1/3 impulse, which is incredibly slow for some reason, and then it zooms off at very fast. And it's like, well, that was a poor choice of siege, because that's like full and a half. That's like full and a half impulse.
Yeah, but then Geordi comes in. Well, first of all, Wesley's like, yeah, he doesn't seem to like anything I do. Every time I do anything, he jumps down my throat.
And everyone though, except Worf, he's been to everybody except Worf.
Well, we get there in a second. Hold on. Don't get your panties in a twist. Geordi comes in, and problem with the new problem, Geordi? Yes, with the new first officer. Made a surprise inspection in the middle of a maintenance cycle. And then he's been leaning into everybody pretty hard, especially except for the one guy who would really appreciate it or wouldn't mind it. And we get a shot of Worf. So it was well done. And I love Riker. He's like, everybody's coming to Riker because I don't know. I just appreciate Riker's kind of like, oh well, I've been over on their ships. I know what it's like. So have fun, guys. Not much I can do.
Yeah, but it's astounding though how quick they are to go against the. Like, I understand it's different, but you would think they'd be more sensitive to not. That said, obviously, Kurn is clearly not giving a silk touch. He's being not full on Klingon, but he's expecting Klingon out of a Federation crew. As the idea in exchange is for him to learn Federation styles.
Yeah.
Not for them to learn Klingon. That was why Riker went, because Riker didn't say, "No, Captain Kurg, you have to be nicer." No, he punched a dude and beamed him off the ship. So Kurn's not, but he's not there for that, obviously. But he's not doing what he's meant to be doing, which is why everyone's complaining, because he's not understanding the point. So it's a bit of a weird, conflicting set of scenes, and you don't know if he's being a dick or if he's being just or Klingons are so inflexible they can't bend. Which I think is the implication that a real Klingon warrior can't go that far. They can't really get that supple. It's only those like Worf that've been born with it or they've grown up with it can accept it, because Klingons can't be nice like that. They need to headbutt each other because they got the horns for it. In essence. But it's remarkable how quick everyone's complaining, and Riker's like, "Yep. I mean, I get it.
Well, this first interaction with him and Worf is kind of odd. 3,000 asteroidal fragments. Should we change course? No course correction necessary. Very good, Lieutenant. You handled that very well. It's like, okay. Nothing much going on there. So.
Well, it's the acting. It's the wonderful subtext of, "Good, well done, Commander. You've done your job very well. The simplest."
And then the look from Worf is like, yeah, of course I did.
No, it's a wonderful, because you're trying to work out what on earth is happening, and it's just like, yep, clearly he doesn't like Worf. Clearly he is just pestering him and, playing his own mind games. But it's a well-acted scene, and I love Tony Todd's he's a very deliberate actor. Every half syllable, he is very much like this. He will talk distinctly at you. It's good. Good stuff.
Erevik Sonder puts in $5.
I was going to say Eric, son of something there.
Erevik Sonder. Wesley is special. He gets to wear the pure silver comm badge. Yes, it's got limited functionality.
Can't call for help.
You can't play porn on it.
Okay.
Can't call for help. I like that. We get the turbo lift scene with Riker runs into Kurn and head into the captain's mess. Yeah, okay, so am I. Cool. I'd like to make a suggestion. When I served aboard the Pach, recognizing and adapting to the needs of the crew was something you needed to do. They needed an iron hand over there. It must be very difficult to work with a crew that's so different. I'd be happy to help you in that regard. That's not needed, Commander. This is not a Klingon ship, sir. No, it isn't. And if it were, I'd have killed you for offering your suggestion. It's like, well, thank you. It's not a Klingon ship. Bye.
Yeah. Weird old scene. Riker's trying to do his job. Kurn's responding in his own way. But the fact is, you wouldn't kill Klingon for offering a suggestion. I just watched from DS9. They don't kill each other for offering suggestions. That's him posturing. Because if you did that, everyone would be dead by the end of the mission. So shut the fuck up, Kurn. You don't do that. And he's the one who's been on a Klingon ship. He indeed offered suggestions to the captain. He didn't get killed. So shut up, Kurn. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
But that said, I love where it's like, it's not a Klingon ship. And he's like, yes, I know. It's like, yes, Riker, you sarcastic prick. He knows that. That's why he took this mission. I thought sometimes I hate dialogue where it's like, Stuart, do you know we're live right now? Or it's like, Stuart, we're live right now. And you're like, yeah, duh. That's why I'm here talking to you on Skype. It's like, but it's all the subtexty stuff. It's like he's not really here for this. And Riker kind of doesn't want him to be here because he's had the wrong, wouldn't it have been great though if this wasn't Kurn and it was that guy he met at the park, if it literally was his friend.
That'd
Because
be
then
neat.
it could have been, I mean, different episodes, obviously, but and we know we actually saw that guy in Vegas. That would have been a great, like, bring him back and could actually learn, we could actually see the perspectives. That would have been again, 2 different episodes would have been good.
Olivia Julius, $5.
Thank
Is
you.
Commander Riker just off duty while
Yeah.
this is going on? That's what I was wondering too. Because he was relieved of his position once Kurn beamed aboard. So,
Well, he's relieved from second in command in this, but I doubt, like, Kurn's not going to do the evaluation reports of people he doesn't know, so I'm sure that, you know, you split the job into Riker's doing day-to-day, Kurn's doing command duties. Because you wouldn't, you know, you're not giving Riker the week off, are you?
I'll give Kurn all the paperwork.
Yeah. And then you just see Targ blood on it, because like, there's paperwork, stab, 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 stab. Everyone gets an A, stab, stab, stab.
Dementia, $10.
Ooh, thank you.
The best part about this episode is that it sets up a multi-series plotline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
yeah,
It
absolutely.
really does. Ah. But then you get probably the most fun scene in the episode, where everyone's obviously having a good time, and this is where the episode is taken to its fullest, because Kern's also being the most open to stuff here. And this is what the scene was meant to be, and doesn't that food look quite nice? What you
It does, yeah.
When you look at this scene.
I just love how he's like, how long has that bird been dead? It looks like it's been in the sun too long. Well, we actually, you know, we like to cook our food, right? And Jordy's like, it's replicated. So try some caviar. He smells it. Doesn't smell appealing. What is it? It's the unhatched. Data starts going off. It's unhatched fished eggs, essentially.
Later, Data. Later.
Yeah. A delicacy of the Caspian Sea on Earth. The replicator has never done it justice, so I've managed to store a few cases for special occasions. And Kurn's like, well, I'm honored, Captain. And he slaps it on his meat. That sounds dirty. On his chicken leg, turkey leg. And then we get the discussion at the table. How are you finding your new position? I'm finding it quite difficult. I had to recently stop myself from killing Commander Riker. Which I love that. Just the way it's delivered.
You asked a question, he answered it. What?
Yeah. Normally, I would see that as a challenge to my authority. And then we get the discussion about the purpose of the exchange program is to learn tolerance. And Picard even says it's not even a bad idea to shake up the crew once in a while. That's why he thought it was a good idea. And then I forget who says it, but somebody says something about him being a little too hard on the crew, and Dory's like, a little. And Kurn, who's right beside him, is like, don't worry, Mr. LaForge, I don't kill anyone at the supper table. But then we find out that this food is much too bland for his stomach as he spits it out.
Well, for any Klingon stew, obviously, you know.
Oh, yes. And Worf's like, Yeah.
As he just puts more and more salt into it. I want to think of this thing then. What's the...
I love this scene.
Yeah.
It's very fun. And it's cool seeing the captain's mess. We never really see this again. Just the briefing room. But
And that's twice in 2 episodes we've seen it redressed, and it is very effective as a redress, or in a couple of episodes. I wish they'd redressed it more. And a new table, which is a nice little table.
And everything does look very good, and it looks like a supper that I'd like to be at and sit down and talk with these folks. So
Yeah, no, I thought this was probably the best scene-ish, you know, of what it's trying to be in the episode. Because Kurn is genuinely trying to learn, and he's interested, and yeah, it's good observations. If every bit of your food is not cooked, then seeing the colour be weird is a genuine concern. But he saves it by, you know, as soon as the captain, who he respects, obviously, says it's his personal thing, he is you know, bowing down to the leader and saying thanks is so genuine. He just doesn't have, you know...
yeah, and you'd think that Klingons would like caviar. I mean, it's just fish eggs. It sounds like something they would eat, you know?
But it's probably too small and... Yeah, I don't know, yeah. I mean, or, yeah. Maybe they don't like salt. Maybe they like other things. But it's an interesting look, although, you know, obviously he didn't eat human food before this mission that Riker did eat Klingon food, otherwise he would know. But the bluntness is refreshing and fun, and Troy laughs at the joke, I was going to kill him, and he's like, yes, I was, and she's like, oh, ha, ha. No, it's, and even the bland thing, you never really think of that, but yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Good comment. And then you wonder, well, you know, how much more yummy is the Klingon food, you know. Targ is like the most delicious thing you've ever had, and it wiggles. No, it's a very smart scene, and it's And what's amazing is that, again, this is pre-Star Trek 6. This is absolutely the proto-Star Trek 6 dinner scene. Like, it has a very similar vibe, just without as much hostility. You know? We're sitting down to a peaceful dinner, but our cultural words are so different that he responds to, how you doing, with I almost killed a guy, and they're like, oh shit, okay, well, let's keep talking. Because that's just the cultural differences. So it's just such a good scene.
Mm-hmm. Shannon Nash, $20.
Oh.
Thank you very much, Shannon.
Bang.
Kurn knows what he's doing. He's not there for the exchange program. He's rough with the crew because he doesn't care about the crew or the exchange program. It's a means to an end. He's there for Worf only. Absolutely.
Well, that's why it's odd how he addresses them. Because he still does his job. And he doesn't do it... Like, it... You know what I mean? It's... I would love to have heard the directorial decision behind this. Because you wonder how... Like, is Kurn waiting for Worf to yell back? In which case, that could take a day, a month, a week, a year. You know, a year. But you know what I mean? Is that what he's waiting for? And therefore, he'll just keep escalating the pissing off Worfness? Is that, you know... Because he could say straight away, but he's trying to test him. So I'm wondering, you know, like I guess he's thinking he could have to do this guise of this assignment for 2 months, and therefore he's still got to do his job. Just, you know, have the Worf subtext.
Yeah. Olivia Julius, $5.
Thank you.
I think Isaac did the exchange program better on the Orville. Yes.
He put in more time, yeah.
And Brian Strait.
Girlfriend too.
$5. Not able to fully watch. Good episode that starts Worf's little arc. Keep up the good work, guys. Tony Todd is one of Trek's finest guest actors. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Very imposing, very powerful voice.
And great as the Herodian too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
So the next scene, Worf comes in. Permission to speak freely, sir. I have a question I wish to pose. Are you dissatisfied with my service? Like, I find you to be a competent officer.
Yeah.
And are your quarters as comfortable as this, Lieutenant? Like, the comfort on this ship, it's a little much. Perhaps this environment has thinned your blood. I simply didn't wish to hurt you. And then... basically, Worf gets kind of pissed off. I'm a Klingon! And throws a chair, and they go to fight. And then we get the... that's the response I expect from my older brother.
Dum-dum-dum!
Commercial break.
I mean, did you see this coming, Stuart?
Yes, I did.
How?
I've seen this before.
But the first time, Stuart...
Oh, I don't remember.
But for the first time, this is a damn strong reveal if you've never seen it. And he plays it off as nothing. In a sense, it's kind of like, just FYI. What? No, it's good because it's only one part of the episode, obviously, isn't it? That's not the point. No, it's fun. The taunting's fun because he's also riding the line of respect for his brother, but also trying to aggravate him, and then and then this relationship was so straightforward in this part. But then from now on, Kurn is then submissive to Worf. I love to talk to Tony about that, having it get to be very aggressive and powerful, and then suddenly a bit diminutive and positive. A good character break showing he's being one side of himself, but really he wants to be the other side. He wants to have his Worf, but he also have his brother, and no, it's good. And hey,
must have his Worf and eat it too.
Yeah, but hey, good for Worf. I mean, he's a lonely guy in a lonely world. Having a brother is pretty epic. And I imagine Michael Dorn was like, damn. This episode was literally made for me and really for me, emotionally as well. It's good stuff.
Bernard Francis, though, throws in $10.
Oh, wow.
Tony Todd is quite possibly the greatest bit part actor on Trek in the 90s. From Kurn to the Herodian Hunter, and his best for me when it was old Jake Sisko. A+ work by Tony Todd.
That is true. Sisko does get a special accommodation because that is a very well acted piece. Yeah, maybe.
Luke, mature Celeste, $5. Worf should have offered him prune juice.
Yes.
Indeed.
And they should have clinked glass and said, Kern would be like, yeah, yes, a warrior's drink. I know, right? That'd be nice.
Jeff, Chadich Jacobs puts in $2. 55 likes again at 100. Hashtag brotherly love life spike.
Yeah.
Like spike. Hashtag make Jeff pay.
You know, guys, if you've got a brother, click like right now. We're at 59. I want to see at least 5,000 likes. If you've got a brother, click like.
If you have a brother, if you don't have a brother, hit like as well. And if you have always wanted a brother, hit like as well.
And if you've also hated your brother, click like.
And if you love your brother, click like.
And if you've ever been to your brother's discombobulation ceremony, then click like. Wow.
And on that note, we're back from commercial break.
Yeah. And last bullshit break.
So we find out that barely a year old when Worf's parents and Worf went to the Kittimer outpost. They weren't going to stay long, so they decided that he didn't have to go. So he stayed with a friend of the family's, friend of the father's, but you never did return. And then Worf says, the Starfleet officer that found me told me I had no living relatives. Well, they assumed that I was killed as well. And then I was told the truth about you at the age of Ascension. And so I came aboard the ship because this was an opportunity to watch you and see what kind of Klingon you were. You are the oldest son, so the challenge is yours to make.
Challenge?
What challenge? The Klingon High Council has judged our father a traitor to the Empire. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, the escalation here is pretty drastic. It's like,
there's a real uptake.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. No, it's a good scene, brilliantly acted.
Nice long take as well.
Yeah. And then we get the ready room. We find out where his dad was charged with aiding and abetting in the Romulan attack. And Picard's like, well, why now after 20 years? Worf's like, I do not know. I will hear the evidence when I arrive.
Well, that means Worf's in his 20s. Because he vaguely remembers Kittimer, but I don't think he was like 15. I thought it was like 10 or less.
Yeah, he's probably like 6, 7.
So he's his late 20s. Shit, okay.
Late 20s or early 30s, yeah.
Wow, he looks a bit older for that.
Well, we find out the charge was made by the Duras family. And our family's name will be disgraced for 7 generations.
Very precise, very precise.
Yeah. It's my responsibility to clear his name because I'm the eldest son, or answer for his crimes. What do you mean, answer for his crimes? If I fail, I will be executed. And,
believe it or not, he is 26 in this episode.
Oh, wow, cool.
Michael Dorn is not 26 in this episode. Okay, I'm seeing how old Michael Dorn is, because he's not 26.
Cards like this could have repercussions for the Federation, so your captain should be at your side when you make your challenge. And then change course to the first city of the Imperial Klingon Empire.
Yes, they're very keen not to say Cronos, because it's not invented yet. But I appreciate the fact they didn't say anything, rather than saying the wrong thing.
Yes.
Okay, so Worf was 26, Michael Dorn was 38.
Wow.
That's a pretty hefty difference. Almost 40 and mid-20s.
Yep.
It's a little bit embarrassing, actually, when you think about it. Klingons look really old, really young. So Kurn... Oh god, Kurn's like 22. I bet he's older than Michael Dorn. I bet he was like 40 and he's playing a 21-year-old. Okay, I'm looking. That's great. Okay, Tony Todd. Oh no, he's a little bit older than Michael Dorn. Yeah, so he was younger, playing younger. Okay. Still, he was like 36 playing 21. Hey, you look Klingons. Now, what do you think of Picard actually committing instantly? Let's go to the Cronos homeworld, the non-named Cronos.
I didn't think anything of it. It's what he would do for his officer, because he's just found out he has a brother, and he's got to clear his father's name. So,
but doesn't it seem kind of odd that with no orders you can just set a course to the Klingon homeworld? I know you're at peace, but it is the Klingon homeworld. You know, and you have to ask for a visa, not anything special. You just can go straight to the Klingon homeworld. Like it seemed very easy, and that's a kind of nice thing they can do that. But They don't even have to ask permission. And they're going across borders, across a lot of space. It's like, oh, if it's that easy, I mean, can you just go visit the Klingon Cronos because you want to?
I would imagine so.
Cool.
Peaceful times.
Yeah.
So. Olivia Julius, though, $5.
Thank you.
All you have to do is put a cold fusion device in the center of Kronos and give Worf the trigger.
I didn't get that.
Give Ward.
Did you try again?
No, fuck off. Give Word the trigger. Sorry, not Worf.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're having another conversation between Worf and Kurn now, but down in 10 forward, we like to change things up. First the quarters.
Yeah.
Not 10 forward.
We have a lot of conversations, so just keep changing sets.
But Kurn's like, you'll need a Chadich. I ask that you choose me. Worf's like, all right, fine, I choose you. Pikachu, I choose you. But you will not reveal who your true father is. And he's like, why? A Klingon's honor means more to him than his life. And Worf's like, well, on this ship, you're my commander, and I will obey. But in the council chamber, you are my Chadich, and you will obey. I don't want people to know that you're my brother, yet, at least. That's how it comes off. So, just in case things go sideways.
Which they probably will, and he knows they probably will.
Yep. I love how Kurn's like, why? I'm your brother. We've met now, and our honor is more important than that. You shouldn't be hiding who I am.
Well, because
it's not said like that.
It's a cowardly thing to do, but Worf has a great point. But I love the instant chemistry difference between the two of them. He's like, I want to impress you. Let me impress you, brother. I love you. I love you. I just met you. I know, but I love you. Come on. You can imagine that if they had one more scene, they could have fought in the battle arena thing that Worf likes to play, and he would have been, very good, brother. Thanks, brother. Yeah. That would have been great.
Is he Hulk Hogan now? Ooh, brother.
And I always found it odd in this episode. He gets to carry his hand weapon the entire episode just chilling. I know there's nothing wrong with that per se, but it's just weird to see him walk around with his hand cannon just happy as can be.
Well,
yeah,
it's cool looking.
Well, maybe not that version, but the holster's good.
Oh, the holster is what I meant.
Okay, good. But yeah, the fact that Worf, on this ship, you might be my commanding officer, but everywhere else, you're my bitch. It's like, what? But the problem is you lose all, there's nothing more of the Kurn as part of the ship's episode, which is a shame. And also they do skip time, because they say we're 1 hour away from the Klingon homeworld, even though it's like a 2-week trip. No, it's 3 weeks Enterprise, probably like a week and a half, but let's skip a big chunk of time here.
Well, we don't know where they were stationed. They could have been near there.
Oh, I guess they met a Klingon bird of prey. They're not going to meet that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And James McGill puts in $5.
Thank you.
Like me, Kurn is a typical younger sibling, Klingon style. Bratty yet honorable. This episode, the first insight of Klingon political infighting. Is this? Yes, it is. Absolutely. And dishonor high up in the council. Like, they know the situation, and to keep stability and peace, essentially, they frame somebody that they didn't think would be an issue.
Yeah.
It goes wrong pretty quick. That's all.
And now, did it seem a bit weird to see a blue-green planet as Kronos? We associate Kronos as red, and it's blue and green. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it did seem a little odd, but...
But hey, credit to them for the gorgeous map painting that is so high detail they can do this pan and zoom twice, and they put digital lighting to color grade it. I mean, what a glorious effect, and all the moving people. I mean, they put talk about first time in Klingon Empire, but especially for the time, that is A-star level of map painting, quality, attention to detail. I mean, you can see it's a painting, but I mean, 10 out of 10 quality. And
the Ayatollah of Rock'n'Rolla says, it's not like you couldn't notice they got the same forehead. Yeah, I mean, that's a trend we see later with the Klingons of the same family, the same house, they got the same style. And yeah, when they're standing side by side, it's the exact same. It's like, how would you not look and see? Are you related to me?
Trillions of Klingons. I mean, you're going to have repeating variants. It's kind of, it's kind of racist to think all the ones of the same house have the same look. That would be silly. But many can have similar. But yeah, it looks like Cronos is a blue-green most of the time we see it. That's weird. Or we associate it with being something else, but guess not.
Well, they show up at the council chambers. He says, I am Worf, son of Moog, and I have come to challenge the lies that have been spoken about my father. And then Duras is like, you come to us wearing a child's uniform and bring outsiders to our great hall.
Yeah.
And Picard's like, I am here to stand with Worf. I'm his captain. He's earned my trust over the years, and I'm here for him. And the Chancellor's like, trust of a commanding officer is admirable and is noted.
Yep. I really appreciate that he is interesting like that.
Yeah. So we find out the traitor Moog sent the defense access codes to the Romulans to allow them to destroy the outpost. Thousands died on Khitomer, including my father. Your father was a traitor. By posing this challenge, you are a traitor. You will not wear the emblems of our people. And he rips the sash off. You are a fool, and your challenge can only result in a fool's death. And the Worf responds by saying, it is a good day to die, Duras, but the day is not over.
Yeah.
So.
And it's so cool to see the art design. I mean, it's just what you think Klingons would be. It's grand of scale. I think the fact they spend most of the episode in this set means they can build it. And obviously they're filming all the same scenes in the same set of days, so all the Klingons are coming back again and again. But I mean, you know, it's good to see. It's a good set of stuff. And hey, what do you think about the Duras actor? Because, I mean, they had to pick him, didn't they?
Yeah, he makes a good asshole.
Yep.
Makes a good bad guy. And I love how the Chancellor's the same dude from Star Trek V.
Yeah. Which is nice, because that was a year before.
Yeah, General Cord. Thank you, Dan.
Because he's a drunk fool in that, and I guess this is his... well, I mean, he was a drunk fool at the time. He's a powerful guy previously, legacy guy. But the fact he gets to play a competent leader-ish as well. And I guess it's maybe his dad, or maybe his son. That'd be kind of cool. But it's... and I mean, you recognise the voice instantly. It kind of sounds like the guy from Star Trek 6, who's the... he puts the gabble down. You have been repented. Like, the voice is so... I feel like it might be that guy as well. It probably isn't, but... I mean, it isn't on his IMDb, but it sounds similar. Although, don't you think it's weird? They didn't make any big deal of this being the Chancellor of the Klingon Empire. And this guy runs the Empire, and he doesn't ever feel that special.
He's got a nice chair.
He does.
That makes him feel special to me.
And he has... every part of him is decked out in, insignia and accommodations. But like Gowron always feels like a Chancellor. This guy, he could just be, the stand-in guy. Still in power, but not as quite as Chancellor as he could be. Is that just me?
I think it's just you.
Okay, fair enough. He's good. He's just, or maybe he's a symbol of the Empire is at a stagnant peace.
Yep, he gets killed later, and gets replaced. So
Gowron, more aggressive, still wants peace, but much more aggressive.
Yeah, I love how Duras's head is a pie crust as well. It's got that pie crust look to it.
Very distinct. But I like the Duras actor. He's, like you said, a wonderful arsehole.
Yes.
But the irony is, he's now acting with an acting, which we only learn at the end. He's having to project. I'm sure this is all of his personal insecurity he's pushing in here.
So get back aboard the Enterprise, and Picard says to Data, Mr. Data, I want you to find out everything you can about the destruction of Khitomer outpost. Cross-reference from the Romulan sensor, the Romulan information we have, and the Klingon databases. And then he says, computer, transfer all information on Klingon family accountability, essentially, to my ready room. Very short scene, but it's Picard doing Picard stuff, getting his walking library to do most of the work. But, I mean, it's good. It's good.
Endeavour has a really funny comment. Worf, son of Moog, but Moog was also son of Worf, Colonel Worf.
Yeah.
So he named him after his own dad.
Never
thought of that, but that's pretty amazing.
It is. So back on the planet.
So it was House
This is
Worf.
where...
So it was House Worf, and then Worf died, and it was House Moog, and then Moog died, and it was still House of Moog, even though Worf was alive. I don't think that makes sense. As in, I know that's what happened, but that's why you need two names. If it keeps, it was son of Moog, House Moog, but Moog's dead.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Unless the initiator, the oldest person in the family, like centuries ago, was named Moog. He just happens to have the same name, and it's just the House of Moog.
Ah.
Just gets carried on. It's the only thing I can think of.
So it'd be Worf, son of Moog, and then Worf
Of the House of Moog.
of the House of Moog, and then Worf, father of Moog, of House Moog, and then son, House Moog, son of Moog, grandson of Worf.
Yeah. Now, my question during this whole episode is: does anybody notify the kid on the Enterprise or on the Starbase now that's a member of the family of what's going on?
What kid?
Do you remember a few episodes ago, a kid was made the part of the House of Moog? See what I mean? You're going to forget episodes.
Now he was assassinated by Duras ages ago.
Oh, good.
They found out. They sent to unsuspecting or salamander. No, in Samaritan Snare. Packlid. They sent a Packlid assassin, and they killed the kid. Yeah, that was a shame. You're right. Because he would be involved in this. He would be forced to be killed if this happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh dear.
Anyway, back on the planet, the Chancellor wants to speak with Worf. So Kurn takes off, but he gets a little note that comes in important later, and he disappears. But this conversation with the Chancellor goes, "We should not have brought this challenge. It posed no risk to you. What does it matter?" Worf's like, "I'm a Klingon. My family honor." And the Chancellor's like, "You being a Klingon, I have no question. Your life in the Federation was not in danger. I knew your father. I served with him. This is not how I wish to remember him. We must protect what we have now. If you leave before the official whatever, no shame will come upon you." And Worf says, "Why would you ask me to lay aside the honor of my father and family?" And the Chancellor just replies, "I will not be questioned by you. Leave now, or you will be condemned as a traitor." So, a nice little behind-the-scenes what goes on in the shadows of the of the politics. And here you get the feeling that, yeah, something's going on, because this was an odd thing to do for a Klingon when honor is what they stand for. They're basically having him just admit that his dad was a traitor and not fight it. So, good scene.
But it actually three-dimensionalizes the Klingons, because if everything is by honor, a society can't really exist. That's why in Enterprise they show a lawyer and they say, "Well, don't think about farmers and such." The Chancellor knows that if honor is withheld, civil war happens, my people die. What's the point? That's obviously the end. But he's doing the more honourable thing to the people that will die, the innocent that will die, the unnecessary men that are only 9 that now sort of serving the KDF because they, much younger. It's interesting that he'll put his own honour in. I like it. Okay, we'll get to the end. I like it. I kind of like his logic at the end, considering this is unlikely a thing to happen. But the fact that he's happy to give Worf a second chance at life. It shows that he's a very pleasant Chancellor, I guess. Gowron, while exuberant, is also relatively three-dimensional in terms of he'll do things that are a bit off-kilter. But this is very, very off-kilter, and you kind of respect him because he's not doing it in necessarily he's doing it for the best intentions. He isn't a Duras. He's trying to do the best for everybody,
Yeah. And James McGill puts in $2.
Hey.
This episode set up several Klingon-related episodes. Absolutely it did.
Blue Copter says, "How are lies ever honourable?" Oh.
When upholding the greater good, they could be. Yeah.
If you get to save 10 lives, if you
But
know that 10 people will die because you told the truth,
Yeah.
I mean, are you meant to sleep better at night because you got 10 people killed? Or if you lied that does nothing, save 10 people? I mean, what's the, honourably saved their, I'm sure their wives and kids will appreciate you not getting killed.
Well, he went on to say deceit by this design is dishonorable. Well, that brings up the question, why do Klingons have cloaking devices? It's kind of a dishonorable tactic, don't you think? So that's a whole debate in and of itself.
I mean, what's his name? Chang? No. Well, when they killed the Obeth Grissom, I mean, that wasn't an honourable attack. So why?
Well, he wanted them to target his engine only. The gunner's an idiot.
And I guess he also get killed for it. But being cloaked, I mean, they should have not been cloaked and said, "Hey, surrender or we'll shoot." So surely they should have revolted against that captain. Crew, there you go, because crew was dishonourable to even be cloaked. You know, you could start doing those levels, but it's honourable to win, and it's honourable to win cleverly. Hence the cloak.
But those are already dishonourable Klingons because they were in Federation space without the sanction of the Klingon Empire. They were basically rogues.
But they're still going to have their own hierarchy of honour. Otherwise, they are honourable in their own eyes, and I'm sure they justified it enough by the captain's wishes. I'm sure they weren't exiled; they're just rogue. I mean, I'm sure they can still go home. You know, there's only 12 of them. You'd think they'd really, exile themselves forever.
Yeah. Well, back aboard the Enterprise, we've got more investigations going on. We find out that the USS Intrepid was the first ship on the scene, and so Riker's like, "Well, request the Intrepid's logs." And then he messages Dr. Crusher, says, "Look over all the medical reports of the ships that responded to the Khitomer massacre."
That's interesting. Scale Destruction Population Center estimated 78% casualties. Well, 78 is not. There's 2 survivors. That would be,
I know.
That would be 99. I mean, I know they're at sensor range. They probably didn't detect the rest, and I guess they thought that much. But that's a lot different. Otherwise, I mean, at that percentage, there's only like 50 people on the base, isn't there?
Well,
It's
look at
78%.
the short trek Children of Mars, where it says on the big screen, 3,000 suspected dead. And then we find out later there's 50,000 people that died in that attack.
Yeah.
So.
And no evidence of attacks. Baycraft, presumed to be Robin Warbird. And it's also interesting because now we've got 3 canonical USS Intrepids. We've got the NX era, pre-TNG era, and late TNG era. So 3 Intrepids. Don't
forget, Worf's adopted dad worked on the Intrepid. So is this the same Intrepid that he worked on? Is that one of the reasons that
the Intrepid?
It was. Absolutely it was.
Well, so they picked him up. I think, I assume I would assume that was what happened. They found him in the rubble, and they chose to, under Captain Drew, they say it in the thing, Drew. Yeah, so that was his captain. Yeah, he's chief engineer of the ship that. But they didn't go to Khitomer. If they went to Khitomer, they would have had more. Yeah, that's interesting. If they didn't go to Khitomer, if they went to Khitomer, they would have had more accurate record, because 78% is wrong. If they didn't go to Khitomer, then that's right, but then they couldn't have picked up Worf.
See that again? That makes no sense.
Okay, so
they were the first ship on the scene, and just because
they said they were edge of sensor range, they didn't say they went to Khitomer, the thing. So they did. 78% is not the correct number.
No, it says they were the first ship on the scene. That sensor log is from when they were 74.1
when the distress thing
away.
Happened. Oh, right.
That's the information they were getting from their sensors.
Well, sort of, because you wouldn't have had that. You wouldn't have had 78% before the shields were down, because that's what happened after the shields were down. So that doesn't work either. There must have only been.
You're not meant to read that, I don't think. It's only on screen for like a second, so.
Unless there are like 50 people on the base. Well, they say 5,000 later, but. Anyway, guys, doesn't matter. It's just interesting.
I don't think the attack was over at that point as well. So 78% is a good estimation.
Although they say Robin Wallbird's probably left at that point. Yeah.
But anyway,
thanks, Emil. Good to have you here.
Yes, hello. We got more investigations going on the ship, but down on the planet, as a result of a little love note that was passed to Kurn, he is in a small little corridor, and we get confronted by Duras, who says, basically, "I know who you are, Kurn, son of Moog. It was a wise choice to hide your family name. Yes. Do not embrace it now. Worf will die for his choices, but you can still be safe. Let him stand alone." and then you will die for him because Kurn refuses and gets almost assassinated by Klingon assassins. Because later we find out that the weapon they use is for a Klingon assassin, which is called the Catlush. Catlush.
And this is a pretty good scene. I love Tony Todd's like, what? I'm still going to pretend I'm not. I like that little line. That's a good directorial choice. What annoys me though is this is obviously the redress of the Jeffries tube from Hunted.
Yeah, absolutely.
That bugs me a little bit. I appreciate the graphics. I like the red, but it's like, where should we set this? Oh, we got a Jeffries tube set. Yeah, let's use that. It's like, oh, okay.
See, you say it annoys you, but I didn't even notice. I never even thought about that. But that's okay.
Remember, I like that episode. You don't. So. But this is the last time Kern's really in the episode. So at least it gives him another moment. But yeah, sad for him.
Well, he gets stabbed, and he doesn't die though, so that's good.
No, because the metabolism is bloody amazing.
Yes, that's the next scene. First she asks what kind of weapon makes a vicious wound like that. There's a Catlush, a ceremonial weapon of an assassin. Unfortunately, his metabolism is awesome. He'll be fine. He should have died. Now that Duras knows his bloodlines, we will both be executed. And Crusher's like, you're talking like you already lost. Again, a very short scene, but I think it was well done.
And Blue Copter says, how do cloak ships avoid running into each other? Well, cloak ships can detect other cloak ships because they send off transponders through subspace and such.
And they can communicate with each other.
Yes, otherwise fleets would be impractical. Very important.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for Kurn in that he's a strong old man. Well, a strong young man. He's like in his young 20s, but...
Yeah, it's kind of bothering me now, the age thing.
He does not look like 26.
No. Anywho, so we find out what brought all this
the new evidence
to fruition. Yeah, apparently a Klingon recently captured a Romulan ship with new logs on the Khitomer attack. They clearly indicate a transmission from the outpost to a Romulan ship moments before the shields went down, and they correspond to Moog's personal security code. But then,
which is pretty damning evidence, to be fair.
Yeah, they compare the one logs to the logs of the Intrepid, which was at sensor range, extreme sensor range, when this was happening. So they were on their way as the shields were dropping, essentially. And there's huge gaps in the Intrepid's logs, missing information due to range. But then we find out that Moog's transmission just, ironically, happens to be right in the middle of one of those gaps. And before the gaps showed up, everything was time-stamped or synchronized correctly, and then afterwards it's slightly off. So we find out that someone has been rewriting history. There you go.
Yeah. And people are commenting that the Romulans really were on the warpath because Khitomer was, assuming Worf was 10, around 10, Rindra 3 was 44, Worf was born in 40, so within 5 to 7 years, Romulans attacked two Klingon outposts to destruction. So they were not... You can see why the Klingons hate the Romulans, because that's two pretty gruesome destructions, pretty close together.
So this was 20 years ago. The Enterprise C was defending an outpost 22 years ago. Would it be cool if they were the same outpost?
That's what I'm saying. They weren't, but they were very close together.
I know. Olivia Julius, $2. Hashtag warrior fertilizers.
Although you're right, I just read the dates, but they did say the episode 20 years ago was one and 20 was the other. So Worf will be 2. No, Worf, because it was not. No, I'm right, because Worf wasn't the age. Yeah. I was trying to work out what age Worf was, but yeah, in a couple of years. I like this, and the fact that Moog's signal was interesting. I mean, you can't get more damning evidence necessarily, especially if codes were secure. But if you want to frame somebody, again, it's the easiest way of doing it. And I'm just when look at the logs, are they trying to imply the Klingons changed it, or Intrepids were changed? I couldn't tell what they were implying because it didn't.
They're implying that the Klingons did it, because the Intrepid's logs are fragmented because of the distance. But it looks like they cut out maybe some information that the Intrepid did pick up, and that's why they're out of sync. So they might have picked up something about the transmission, the Moog thing. But yeah, it looks like the Klingons did it. Either that or the Romulans, but I don't think the Romulans would have done it.
It was a little bit unclear as to who changed what.
A little bit.
I kind of got the sense that because the Intrepids, because they were out of sync now, that they asked nicely the Federation government to tweak of records because they were primary evidence. But you get the gist, but I didn't quite understand which way around.
So we get a conversation with Picard and Worf now in the ready room. Picard's like, well, they obviously didn't expect you or want this challenge. You were getting very close to something they care a great deal about protecting. If it's true, it's not just the Juros, but the High Council itself that is my enemy, says Worf. He says must choose another Chadich, whatever. I ask you to stand with me. And Picard's like, well, there are stronger and younger men from whom to choose. And Worf says, I cannot think of anyone else who would rather stand by my side. So, cool.
And it's nice to see Picard's pride. And also ballsy of Worf, because this could put him in the middle of an interplanetary incident. You know, I know the Federation Council would approve of Picard being right there. You know, possibly going, you know what I mean? It's a very difficult political situation. Yes, he's qualified, but just like, you know, Data didn't tell Picard about his daughter last week, you think the Federation Council would be like, Picard, you should have told us you were going to be an arbiter for the Klingons at the home world. Dude, big political shit. You're talking to the Chancellor. Tell us, like, you know what I mean? Double standards there, Picard. Come on. He obviously speaks for the Federation as well as, you know. But it's just like having the great warrior of this come in. He garners respect either which way. But yeah, it's really nice of him to come along.
Yeah, well, if he's like, I kind of don't want to be your Chadich because they make my ass kicked. There's stronger, younger people. Yeah. It's like, no.
That's just him being bashful. I thought he's like,
I know. I'm just.
Yeah. But yeah, they beam down, takes the sword. I love how they didn't give him this. They didn't give him the sash yet, so he just awkwardly holds it to his side. The next thing he gets the sash.
Yeah.
For some weird prop department decision. It's so awkward when you watch it. But I like how Worf can't go down with the sash anymore. He wears it on the Enterprise, but can't down because that's a respect thing. It's a nice subtle touch. And everyone dismisses to Picard, but he still garners respect, and he does not. He stands his ground. Does not concede to Duras. He's like, shut up. I will beat you up if you ask me to, if you need me to. Duras is like, fine.
Well, I love how you just be ready to teach you. Of course, like, you may test that assumption at your convenience.
Yep, well played. Still diplomatic and also kick-ass-able. It's good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, so then we find out that there was actually Crusher.
Or briefly, Ozzy asks, does the Prime Directive go into effect here?
Why?
Oh, because it's interfering with cultures. I'm thinking it is his thought.
No.
Yep, no Prime Directive.
Klingons are warp capable and some friends with the Federation, and this is no.
Yeah, it's just good old, politicalness.
Yes.
That's all that is, really.
Anyway, Crusher finds out that a woman actually was found with Worf. Her name was Kaylest. Not Kaylesh.
Or Kaylest. Kaylest.
And she was transferred to Starbase with Worf, and then after she recovered from her injury, she was returned home. And then they just basically say they have to find her. And quite convenient in my opinion, but that's okay. And then I love how they interrupt Picard essentially and say, hey, we've found another survivor, a woman who was found with Worf. And he's like, all right, cool, just thanks. I love how he has to excuse himself from the main council for a second. He asks for a recess and then tells Worf about it. And Worf is like, yeah, she was my nurse. Find out she's living in the old quarter. And Picard's like, well, I'm going to have to go see her. It is too dangerous. She must not go alone. Hey, I'm your Chadish.
He even says, hey.
And I know.
So informal. Fun. But it's odd that Worf's like, no, Kalester's dead. And he's like, no, she's not. It's like, you wouldn't have checked up on her? She wouldn't have checked up on you for 20 years? They felt a little bit disingenuous.
Not if you were told, not if you told she was dead or you thought she was dead. You wouldn't think about it, right?
She would know he was alive and she would at least try and say hi. Clearly she
but she doesn't want to be involved.
Well, no, there's a difference between I want to be involved in current politics to I want to help raise the child I was meant to, I'm sure she recovered in a few months. And then, she did. It's just sad that she never bothered to go help the child. She, I'm sure she's the one that saved him at Kittimer. She's the one that put her body over him in the doorway. I know it's a plot convenience, but it's really depressing. This woman would not be, honourable to her own kin. I'm sure she also looked after Moog as well. Whatever. A little bit sad, but it's a plot device. Whatever. Meh. And then as chief of security, it's weird that Worf doesn't insist he brings somebody. That's terrible Worfing. Any other scene, he would force them, because I'm sure they would allow Picard to bring 3 security people with him, either loyal to him, or just send. Oh, I guess Krug's been stabbed, but the fact that Worf doesn't send people with him is awful. He should send at least 2 people. He's captain. Please, but no. Okay. Boo.
Anyway, he's got a great disguise. You can totally see his Starfleet uniform, but hey. Wanders down, finds her, walks into her house without permission.
No, biddy, come! Yeah.
I need your help. I can't help you, I'm dead. My life ended on Kittimer. I served a strong family in a noble house.
Because I let them down, I never wanted to be seen again by anybody.
She says Moog was loyal to the Emperor. He suspected someone was going to betray the Empire. Picard's like, who was the traitor? And she says, I do not know. You must leave now, Shadich. I am dead. Kempek would remember me, because Picard says, would they know who you are? And she's like, Kempek would remember me. I caught his eye back then, but he was too fat. And then she decides to go with him.
Well, no, they would fight first, but...
No, she just... Well, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. What I like...
I didn't write down the fight, because there's no dialogue. So, sorry, I didn't get to those pictures.
That's okay. What I like about her costume is that she's still... Even though she's in a diminutive thing, she still has the full spine blades of a full officer's uniform.
I know, on a house coat.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a fucking house coat.
Yeah, which is interesting. I'm confused what they're trying to tell us here. You get the sense she's nobody and lives in poverty, but she lives in this hovel. This little, almost looks like a Tatooine Tunisian hovel with, this is the Klingon Empire. Like, there's obviously, this is what Klingon poverty looks like. A very poorly decorated room. No TV, no lights, no electricity. You know what I mean? It's a weird, what are they trying to tell us here? And yet she's wearing this shiny, metally looking undercoat, which looks sci-fi. Like, it would have been nice if they'd actually even redressed the Enterprise D, like, sleeping quarters and made it look Klingon-y as like they've a place to sleep. You know what I mean? It's just weird as like a hovel. I don't know. And then he gets attacked and he defends himself very well. He even stabs a guy. And considering they don't try and save him after, and that Kurn almost died, you can probably consider that Klingon got killed by the stab wound. That'd be fine to say that that Picard murdered a Klingon in cold blood on Cronos' sub-level. Cool stuff. No remorse at all. And obviously remember the fact that Klingons are stronger than humans, but he can still kick their asses. He is Picard after all, but he does manage to do pretty well considering.
And then it's clear she threw something, but at the same time it's not, because you never see anything hit. So it looks like she used the Force, because her hand's out.
Yeah, and actually you get to see the extra knife. That's a good close with the gun. You get to see the knife, and it is even more vicious looking, especially if you twist it. It's pretty graphic, actually. But I like how you can just see the door open and close. It's really subtle. It's beyond subtle. And yeah, the way she gets stabbed is just hilarious. But it does feel a bit disingenuous why she suddenly goes from being this very, quiet, oh, I'm dead, to, yes, I'll help. And she calms down, she's strong. It's like, what convinced you? Because you had to kill a guy? Oh, bloodlust, that convinces you. Like, there's no real motivation except he's honourable and can kill a guy if he needs to. Like, you're always expecting her to be a plant now because of how easy it was.
Mm.
Like, it doesn't, in second viewing, it doesn't work as well. It's just kind of just because we have to. But don't play up her thing, I'm dead, I'm dead. Like, it doesn't really work that well anymore, I think. But,
well, if it wasn't an instant changeover, if it would have been like earlier in the episode and been dragged out.
Yeah. Or if, she had said, fine, I'll come, and then he got attacked, and then she was like hoveling and being scared, and then she finds her courage to do something in the fight. You could see, okay, warrior in her came out, la. But yeah, the turn feels a bit. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for that.
Dave Stelzer, $2. Someone stabbed the card once. Yes, right through the heart.
Oh yes. Yes.
Number one special puts in $2. Klingons do not live in comfort. It's true.
Yes, but they do still have chairs, and they still have, TVs and screens.
That could have just been the front room of a bigger place.
Or like the entrance hall,
It's the common area in like an apartment building.
Put your shoes on. Well, there you go. Put your shoes on the left. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious she's very, very poor. Like, she is absolute hovel. Like, she is the underground of society. She's in the Coruscant lower levels, etc. But it would be nice to see like some lights at least. She has electricity. But anyway, Worf is getting served his sentence, and he's taking it very well, considering this is his death. Like, he's taking death stoic and strong, because that's what's going to happen in this moment. And suddenly, he walks in. No! I found this woman. She's alive.
New evidence.
New evidence, yes. And then it's like, to the side, right, quick, go. No, right. What?
Oh, what is on Picard's shoulders is my question. Is it snowing out with ash? Did we miss a scene? Was there a deleted scene?
It's dust. It's fragments from the jacket.
Is it fluff from his cloak?
Well, he had to, he had to barter for a really crappy coat in the market, and he gave his
Anyway, so they decide to do this not in the main council chambers,
which is a nice little okay. And look, they have chairs. See, chairs.
Those are for the guests that aren't Klingon, though. In all fairness,
they're all Klingons. How do you think Klingons go to the Klingon homeworld?
All the time.
Okay.
Anyway, so would you kill an old woman to cover your dishonor?
Yes. No, you meant to say no, Duras. Oh, sorry. No. But if she slipped and fell, I didn't kill her. Duras. Sorry. If a transporter failed and she was much... Duras! Sorry, I'll go. Thank you. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Anyway, they decide to send her away. They're not going to need her evidence. And she's like, well...
They insist he can't testify.
Yeah. And the chancellor's like, it was good to see you again. You're still fat, Kempek. Anyway, she leaves.
What a mean, like, it's a wonderful line, but it's like, really? Klingon Chancellor. God, the balls on her. Amazing.
Maybe that's why she's in poverty.
Yeah, look, yeah. But the fact that she still has balls to flirt, it's like, you're looking good. Shut up, fatso. Oh. I mean, the strongest guy in the entire empire. It's not enough, is it for you? It's never enough. Go on the treadmill. I don't want to.
Olivia Julius, $5. My friend rented Cronos, and all he gave me was a silly super chat. This silly super chat. There you go.
That was well read, Stuart.
I know,
My
right?
friend learned English, and all he could read was that crappy super chat. Or that super chat crappy, Lee.
Yes. Anywho, so here we find out that someone had to be blamed for what happened. Only the council knew whose security codes had actually been transmitted, which was Duras's. But his family was powerful, and if the truth were known, it would shatter the council. and most certainly plunge us into civil war. You were in Starfleet. We didn't expect you to challenge the judgment, nor did we know that there was another son of Moog. Then Picard says, Worf's challenge was successful. The honor of his family must be restored. You do not understand. His challenge was defeated before it even made it. The judgment stands. You will be condemned. So will your brother. There is no other way now. Then Picard jumps in with, so what does this say of an empire that holds honor so dear? The empire will not be destroyed for one family's honor. So protect your secrets if you must. You will not kill an officer under my command. Worf says, I will die for the empire, but you must allow my brother to return to his life. Only you need know his true bloodline. He will want revenge. If you let him live, I'll accept this commendation. Well, that would be the same as admitting your father's guilt. Your heart is truly Klingon. What has been said here must never be spoken of again. So everybody knew the truth on the council anyway, and yeah, because they didn't expect Worf to show up and didn't understand the situation with another son, they're like, we'll just make him a scapegoat. So shitty situation. Politics at its finest.
What do you think of the reveal? In context of the episode, anyway.
It was good. It was one that wasn't written on the wall per se.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand why the Duras family is so goddamn important that can be overlooked, especially for the Romulans. That really bugs me. I know it gets. I don't know if it gets sorted out later. I know this comes up a few times, different episodes, but yeah, I don't understand. Like, big deal.
Which bit big deal?
About the Duras family. Like, he was the traitor. I know they're powerful and probably a large part of the council, or the money behind the council. But
the thing is, his dad died at Khitomer, and so therefore, to argue the son is a traitor, you know what I mean. Ironically, the sins of the father, they don't diminish Duras, because I'm guessing there's no proof this Duras had anything to do with it. He was presumably, he's obviously older than Worf, but I mean, we know later on they do consort, but that we think that's the sisters. I mean, this Duras might actually be honourable in terms of that side of it. But if there's no proof this Duras is responsible for anything, then why blame him? And if he's one of the leading figures, but I always got the sense that the Durases were, a bit of a shit sect. One of the more dubious. That's obviously what we're given to incarnate. But I thought this was a brilliant reveal. I actually forgot this time around. This much they actually knew, because it does shift hugely in this scene. It goes from being what it is to something exactly the opposite almost. And the fact that this Chancellor will give up the truth for the security of everybody. But isn't that what a good leader does sometimes? He's saving people. He's saving the Empire. What does a civil war do? Although it's weird to think the civil war is the guy next to me will say, I'm at war with you now. Like, what do you mean civil war? Duras' sisters all go to war? Like, is this guy stand next to me who I can boss around? Is that who will civil war me? Or are there factions already that are vying for some conflict? Or there are factions that hate Duras because he's the traitor, and those that will say, no, he wasn't. But also gives you what was the point for the Duras father? To let the Romulans in and destroy a base is a massive thing to do. Really. What was the end goal? I guess he wants to be the Chancellor, but that didn't go very well, and he obviously had a bad backup plan.
He was working with the Romulans for other things, and they had blackmail on him, and they wanted the security codes.
That's interesting. I like that.
Outpost.
Or they kidnapped his wife or something.
Yeah, there's got to be a good reason for it, and just to destroy an outpost.
Well, I think we assume because of the next time we see them, these Romulans to become the head house. But yeah, who's to say the other Duras, the dad is responsible? That's interesting. I like that. But it's a good reveal. I like how then Duras does change his tune. He's more submissive because he knows I'm at wrong. I think he's the whole episode he's lashing out because he hates his father's actions. You don't get the sense in this last scene he would have been complicit. Yes, he'll play the part to screw over Worf, but he doesn't know Worf. He's angry that Worf survived. That His father didn't. He's a survivor. Why couldn't my dad survive? Yes, he might have been a traitor, but at least he would have survived. I'd grow up without a dad. Worf gets to live. Screw Worf. You know. And yeah, why would Worf come back? You know.
Well, yeah. I always get the idea that this Duras is a little shit.
Yes.
He doesn't. He's just as bad as his father.
But we don't know that though. That's a big line to cross. Like manipulator of power.
This looks like an asshole.
But the way he's in this scene, you know.
Well, the way he acts, I don't know. He looks like a bully.
But it doesn't mean he's a traitor to the Empire.
I never liked him.
But that's the point. This scene impressed me with how he changes performance, and the fact that he takes the punch and then looks down submissively. It's subtle stuff, but it is different. He's ashamed of his father. You can tell this isn't. Otherwise, he would be still aggressive. And the fact that Worf takes this offer, well, it's amazing. If this was an option the entire time, why would they not suggest it? Because getting killed for it is the same as admitting he was dead, because the council says he's dead. I mean, but hey, let's Worf survive. And Picard jumps in and, yeah, because, boy, Picard has some power. Do you really want to piss off Picard? Got Galaxy class in orbit. Are you going to be able to kill an officer? Yeah. And then you get one of the iconic scenes, one of the iconic Klingon scenes, which again was in the encyclopedia that I've seen a billion times of the turn. Iconic goodbye honor moment,
Well, before this moment happens, they're talking to Kurn.
Yes.
And he's like, "Why is Worf doing this?" And Picard says, "You need to maintain your cover so that your honor remains intact. Because one day, your father's name can be cleared. So you need to be alive to help with that one day. Do not forget what Worf did here today. Don't let your children forget." So, and then the classic in turn, and with all the Klingons within earshot, he says, "You must do it as well, brother." I mean, it could be brother like, "Hey, Sam, you're my brother," but still, that was good. Justin Hampton, $2, 93 likes, 100 make Blue Jays pay, and good Klingon. What? I'm just... Okay, let's get to 100 likes. 113 people here. Everybody hit like. I like this last scene, though. Everybody turning their back on him. And then as they walk through the two people, and the one person's like facing them, I expected her, or I think it's her, to turn around again, because it's like, I guess you're seeing their backs. It doesn't matter, but still. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an iconic scene, and it's a nice... It shows that the ceremony beats the aggression. It's not like stabbing each other or pain sticks. The simplicity here is the harshest thing. I like the differentiation of these Klingons. There's a pretty diverse set. There's an old guy with really white hair, which you don't often see. He's on the council, and there's a couple of girls, although they're not really prominent, but there are.
There's no bald ones. Some of them might be at war with anybody, and no elongated heads.
No, but everyone's hairline is a similar place. The Duras has a further back hairline. Well, I guess in this actually, when you see this many Klingons, you realize that the ridges go above the hairline, which you never quite think of, but they do. And then the episode ends on this rather, not even bittersweet, this just sad, genuinely, shit visual. It's as powerful today as it was when it was filmed. And all it is people turning their backs on you and walking away, and that is as powerful as any shootout, as any pew, as any baby's head in Discovery. Just as powerful as that. More powerful, you could argue, than let's have a baby's head.
Yes.
Why you laugh?
I didn't.
Why you dishonor me with your chuckle? Are you a chuckle brother? Do you know who the Chuckle Brothers are?
No, I don't.
They're a famous comedy act in the UK.
Well, I can't be that famous.
So, Stuart, what are your final closing thoughts of Sins of the Father, episode 17. And guys, put in your thoughts now. Super chat, Stuart will read. No, I will read. And we'd love to see another $30. Would be great. That's a nice way to end this live. 30. Thank you. Stuart, what do you think? And has your thoughts changed having done the full review and analysis in context?
Like I said, I hated doing the notes for this because I knew to be wordy, and I hated it. The conversation, the review didn't change anything for me, really. It's a good episode. I do really enjoy the dialogue, learning more about the Klingons. I don't like how it goes down. I don't understand a lot of the reasoning. I know that, yeah, Civil War, powerful family, whatever, but it just doesn't make sense that the Klingons would accept that, especially a council of them, that they knew that Duras is the one responsible, yet he was dishonorable. And they're all about honor, and the son's taking that on. So it doesn't make much sense to me.
Someone did say in the chat that what if Duras is like one of the fleet commanders, and he happens to have, he's fought with a half of the fleet for 5 years, and he could, if he says, this is a coup, these are lies, the fleet will rally behind me, and now he has 300 ships at his back. What if he's very tapped into the military side specifically? So he's like one of the fleet commanders.
Well, that would definitely explain the Civil War aspect of it, should anything go awry, but still. And yeah, I guess it would have been an easy solution to just say, well, Moog was there and his son's in Starfleet. It would never be an issue. So let's blame it on him. I kind of get that, the backdoor dealings of politics, but...
Although it makes you wonder, then, if the spacecraft, the Romulan ship that was kidnapped, or nicked, and the signal found was the original signal, Moog's transmission signal, was that changed in the records? Because originally it was Duras' signal, because if it was Moog's, then Duras had to fake Moog's signal, or if it was after the fact changed in the records, then surely the original crew that found the ship would have found Moog's signal, Duras' signal, and then they were then kept silent or killed. Because the evidence is that it was Moog's signal that lowered the defense grid. But Duras did it. So either Duras used Moog's code, or they changed the records so that was Moog's
That's
code.
what I think happened.
Which one?
Either Moog's code was transmitted from Duras' location, or vice versa. His code was used from...
It would be dumb to use your own code.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But maybe there's evidence that the code that was used, even though it matched, was not encrypted quite properly or something. So it on the surface level, it shows that it was Moog, but once you dig deep, it's not. So either he forged the code, or
he might have even had Moog at gunpoint. I mean, it might be literally that simple as, do it or I kill your wife. Imagine a Discovery-style flashback. The Klingons are barging in, and Moog's like, get in the closet. Don't know why Mo's at that higher voice. Although one last note before you again go back to what you thought of it. I liked how the K-Lest said Moog was most suspicious of Duras for ages. Actually went to Kittimer to check. So he brought his wife and his son to investigate a potential Romulan threat. Wow, didn't remember that from the first viewing. So that makes Moog sound smart, but also irresponsible to bring his kid along.
No, I don't think that's what happened at all. I think he went to the outpost with them. While at the outpost, he suspected that something was going to happen. They were already there with him.
Well, Kayla said they went to Kittimer because of that, but okay.
Did she?
Yeah. Because they were suspicious. Went to Kittimer because she was suspicious. Because remember, they said at the start that Kurn says, "You said you weren't gone very long," which would make sense if you're just hopping there to investigate briefly and come back. It wasn't a work. Well, it wasn't a holiday, was it? But anyway, that's a small thing. Very small thing.
Never heard that line of dialogue, so.
That's fine. Back to your final thoughts.
I don't know. I enjoy the episode, but I just too much Klingoniness for me. Anything that's too Klingon it kind of bugs me a little bit, and the whole political thing. I hate politics in real life, and I like the reveal of it. It is well handled here. It's an interesting plot. It's an interesting device for future episodes as well. But it's not one I would go out of my way to watch. Let's put it that way. Not that I don't like it, I do, but I just wouldn't. It's not high in the enjoyability factor. So that being said, for season 3, it's still going to get a 8.5 out of 10 because it is so well written and well acted, and it's quite a lot of depth. It's layered quite well, and the reveal's awesome. Plus, it leads into other episodes. For all of Star Trek,
Not all TNG, but yes.
Oh, all TNG. Sorry. I'll give it a 7.5. It's definitely good, but like I said, it's not in that upper echelon for me. Just because I don't really care about the subject matter, and there's a few different reasons. That's personal preference. It's not.
Okay. All right. Well, super chat time. Then I'll give my scores and review.
All right. Well, Justin Hampton, $5, 100 likes, yay!
Yeah.
And meant this was a great episode that showed Klingon history and values. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Jacobs puts in $2. I got 105 for 130. We strive.
Mm-hmm.
Make the Blue Jays pay. Okay. Michael Callane puts in 15 Australian with no comment. Thank you.
Kind.
David L. joins the channel at the rank of captain.
Captain Dave. Or Captain L, I guess. Captain L. Thank you. Hope you enjoy.
There we go. I'm back now. Last thing I saw was you saluting. Olivia Julius, $5. I gave this episode 3 out of 5, taking away a whole half point, our commander, for no warrior fertilizer. Warrior?
Warrior.
All right. Oh, warrior. Oh,
With an
no.
A.
Spelling's important. Ozzy Medeiros, $5. This episode gets 9 out of 10. Next time we see Duras in the episode reunion, then Worf gets his revenge. 10 out of 10 for Trekyards. Skeleton hands.
Yes.
Olivia Julius, another $5. When is the drunk live, or AKA maple syrup and hot tea drinking live? Probably Sunday, by the looks of it.
It was not up to me, guys.
Yeah, and it's not 100% confirmed yet. Blue Copter puts in $2. Thanks for the discussion. Love the TNG rewatching. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jarzia, $10.
Ooh,
Awesome.
Thank you.
A solid 8 out of 10 for season 3 and TNG. Really started to develop the Klingons and set Worf's discommendation, redemption, decommission arc in motion. Also, Tony Todd is awesome as Kurn, and just in general.
Yep.
That being said, I really hate how they eventually erase his memory.
I hate that too.
It's goddamn stupid. And I was wondering in this one, how are they going to prevent him from getting revenge? But I completely...
Yeah, I find the last Kurn episode garbage.
Yeah.
What a waste of everyone's time.
It's a waste of a good character.
Yeah. Thank you. Glad you agree with that.
Yeah. Well, we get that out of the way. That's like, what, season 5, season 6?
Of the DS9 as well.
Yeah.
A long time. And Mike Fields is high, by the way. Like a first-time high. So, hello, Mike
Oh,
Fields.
hello. I've seen you.
Good to see you.
Let's see. We are on number 1 special, $2. Only Romulans would know who sent the code.
Mm-hmm.
And Emil Bodie Willis puts in $5. 10 out of 10 for this episode, 9 out of 10 for season 3, and 9 out of 10 for TNG.
Cool.
Okay. High numbers.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, so my thoughts. Good piece, great Klingon piece. Kurn, brilliant. Its only flaw is that they're trying to pack too much in. And while it is incredibly well paced, considering if they had improved or streamlined the first third to remove a bit of the... it's not that it's fluff, it's just unnecessary to the grander scheme. They could have done with a bit more fleshing out the last bit. Or split up into 2 parts. First part is fully the Kurn Enterprise and then the other thing. So it's a weird disjointed in that way, but it still comes across very well. I love the use of all the Klingon stuff. Kurn is, like I said, great. Picard's really good. There's some really, really strong moments. Everyone else gets sidelined, but I mean, Worf is great when you give him stuff to do. The K-Lest stuff, bit of a letdown in comparison, but the political stuff at the end really does pay off. But weirdly, I thought you were going to bomb this episode in terms of score. I'm blown away by how well you gave it. I thought you were going to give it like a 6 and a 6. Giving the oh, I don't really like it as well, oh, I don't really enjoy it. And here you are giving it high numbers, and I'm like, what the hell?
I don't like it and I don't enjoy it, but I appreciate it for what it is. And it's a well-written, great drama.
It's shocking.
That's done very well and presented well. So I can score things high and not like them personally.
Okay. Okay, sure. Because I'm going to give it lower than you, but I enjoy it more than you.
Depends on my mood. Some days I might enjoy it.
Yeah, because I'm going to give it an 8 for season 3. I think it's good, but not one of the best, but still in top tier. And all the TNG are 7. It's pretty darn good, but there's a lot of better ones. It's very solid, but it has some distinct flaws to it. Yeah, I'll give it a 9. I don't see it's got too many weak points to be a 9. It's a 9-able episode, but you need to slice it up and then do other bits to it. It's a 9 in potential, but does not reach the that was brilliant. You know, yeah, you know, it's strange. It just doesn't reach that. Oh, that was really good. It reaches the that was good. Yeah, well done then.
I was trying to be nice and trying to be positive.
Yeah, and I was more positive.
Maybe I overshot that a little bit.
Yeah.
But
hey, whatever. Cool. So non-super chat scores. Let's see what people think. That was my gut, by the way, from like 2 hours ago, from when I watched it. Like, it's not based on Stuart's score. My gut was I'd say it's really good. Like 8's a really strong score. Anyway, 9, 8, 9, 8, 8, 8.5, 8, 8.5, 8.5. 9. Michael Dawn gives this episode a 9.975. Yes, I'm sure he would. And Chris Rollins says, proof positive Star Trek can do boring talky episodes without them being well boring. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you have good actors and a strong world, world plot, alien world, yeah, cool.
B+, says Jill. The plus is for the turkey joke.
It just should have been 2 episodes, you know.
I agree.
So it would have been great if after part 1, like Kurn knew Duras was coming for Worf. And so the first episode is him being an officer, like getting the crew ready if there's a fight or something similar, and then getting to know Worf. And then Duras comes in, says, "Give us Worf or give us death." And then you get political stuff part 2, and you get a bigger thing. You get an admiral there to represent the Federation. You get like that I think would have been more at least fleshed out. And then you could have had like maybe even a trial, which is more interesting. Maybe like a Duras, maybe like someone else that survived, or like you get records from the guy who's in charge of the Kittimer outpost, and he thinks whatever is whatever. Kind of like we had with the Witness one, where you have alternate holographic records, and you get to see Worf's dad at the event, and I think it's not as Klingon-y, but it would have been kind of cool. Again, there are ways you could have sort of broadened it.
I wish, in the grand scheme of things, at some point we would have actually seen a recreation of what actually happened.
Yeah,
that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, and I really want to know what Worf's dad, like who they'd have cast for Worf's dad.
Yeah,
because that would have been and even if it was Michael Dawn, I mean, even if he got to play his dad, his granddad himself, would have been fine with that. Would have actually been kind of cool. How would you, age up Worf by a few years, or Michael Dawn? So it looks great as Colonel Worf.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Good stuff. So we'll see what we're doing tomorrow, guys. We have not yet discussed it. Probably something, or maybe not something, depending. You will see.
Stay tuned. Make sure your notification bell is clicked to all, and check Facebook.
Time. So just tune in either way, see if there is, and then the weekend. So maybe Sunday, but we'll let you know. We'll attempt to do a post about that. Maybe even do like almost going to do a video to Facebook, just a quick little thing saying, hey, we're doing a thing, just to, because those things are really there for you guys to enjoy, like the brand, we want 200, 300, 400 people to come to those, because they'll be fun. As we have our presents, we talk about fun topics, hopefully get drunk, that's up to, as we said, it's up to you guys, and those go a long way to help our monthly income, like a ton, so.
Yeah, and that'll be probably early Sunday afternoon. So just so you guys are aware.
It's all Sunday morning from LA. So Matt Boardman, you get to wake up 9 a.m. So, oh, they're gonna get drunk in an hour and a half. Yep.
You'll wake up and we're all like, and then this thing, it happened, and you went over there, and you're like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, guys. It's not over here, man.
And Australia is like, why are you drinking at 4:30 in the morning? Shut
Well, that's
up,
still a
Australia.
good time to drink. I'm still drinking from the evening. That's fine.
Well, yeah. And then for me, it'll be like a 3 or 4, I think, something like that. Because we both want to do stuff after it. That's the thing. We do stuff. I'm thinking of ordering a pizza because I need to have food right after. Like that's a good technique. Just put something in your stomach, you know. Or I'm going burritos.
Well, see, Saturday wouldn't work so well because Saturday every Saturday night at 7 o'clock we do a Dungeons and Dragons thing, where we go on Roll20, and Sabrina's the Dragon Master, and we got a few of our friends that come in. So I don't want to be like sloshed for that. So I think Sunday's better.
Okay.
And I can just plan for nothing happening on Monday, depending on recovery time.
Maybe alive, maybe not. But that's a long old.
The Hangover Live. We should do one of those.
We just got aspirin, just cold water. It's like, oh god, we're here again.
Turn off all the lights. It's really dark.
Let's do like the most boring episode of a Star Trek and just pick one we hate and just be like, yep, Quark says Al Moraine and they dance a bit and the guy's an arsehole and Al Moraine count to 3. Al Moraine, shut the hell up! I'm drunk.
So, but yeah, I think early Sunday afternoon will be the target we're aiming for. So.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, thanks for joining in, guys. We did some great super chats. Hey, you guys surprised us. That certainly surprised me. But as we often say, last super chat slot.
Well, yeah, the last super chat is currently held by a moderator, so that's not acceptable. I'm just kidding. It doesn't really matter. But if you want it, it's there.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. We're
Oh,
challenging.
Becky's fired. She said third chap. No.
What?
No reference.
Don't get it.
Third chap. It's from the Al Moraine episode. Third chap on the board.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody wants the last super chat slot. That's fine.
I mean, it's up to you.
What is the next episode, by the way? Somebody just said, too bad it's not as good.
Oh, I like the next one. I think the next one is one I saw not last year, but like the last 7 years ago.
It's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, it's not an off-kilter one.
It's Allegiance, in case anybody doesn't know.
The one web card gets replaced again
By a singing
yes
card.
Come cheer up, lads, I'm an alien. How long will it take you to get?
He's macking on Beverly pretty good too. Like,
Oh yes,
Real Picard needs to take some notes.
and he just walks around, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I like it. Hey, we got 2. Good.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, anyway. Any more super chats?
Yeah, we got 2. Oh, we got 3.
Oh, we got 3.
People are fighting.
Well, Judge 1981, I didn't read his score. It was 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Jarzy at $2. Olivia is just waiting to pounce. Threefold Path, pitching £5.
Thank you.
Great to see TNG hitting its stride. Looking forward to seeing more. And Emil Bodie Willis puts in $5. Live long and prosper, guys. So much respect for you both. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Very kind. But you know what I'm seeing? TNG Season 1, Season 2, there were still some good episodes, but they didn't have the dynamics worked out fully. Obviously, they didn't shoot it as well. Season 3 isn't necessarily the season about it all got the best. It's the average got a ton higher. Like, there are no stinkers. There are no bad scripts. There's no bad acting. They're just the average got brought so much higher. They're not letting themselves do... Like, the approval process, the development process is much tighter, so they're producing better stuff on average. That's why I think more is the difference.
Squadron Course, $2. Last super chat. No. Jarzia throws in $2. Are you sure?
Well, Stuart,
Well, he wasn't sure because he was asking a question. So last super chat question mark.
let's say 10, 9,
Mm,
8, 7, 6. And yes, the Enterprise is trying to blow up. 4, 3, 2, 1. The ship explodes. Bye, guys.